So this is just going to be an amp guts video on the 5 amps that I have sitting around my house that are not out of the car, not installed in the car. Well, they're car audio amps, but anyways, so it's early 2016, but by no means are these new amps to the market. It's just what I had, and I wanted to open it all up in one video. And these 2 amps don't include the previous amps I've done, which are the Rockford amps. It doesn't include them, even though you might see them for comparison reasons and pictures in this video. But anyways, let's get to it. So over here on my car audio shelf, I've laid out these 5 amps. So we got the Clarion 2-channel, the Sony xplode 4-channel, the Kicker 1200 watt mono, the JL 2-channel, and the JL 4-channel. Let's take a look at these. So here I brought over the 2-channel amps, Clarion XH5 210 and the JL E2 150. The reason I like to compare, I'm interested in comparing these two, is because this is a radiation / convection cooled amp, so it means the heat dissipated from the amp will be in the form of radiation or slight convection of just small air currents moving over the main aluminum body of the amp. And with the Clarion, it is, let me just get some of this stuff out of the way we don't need. It is also technically primarily convection, but it's a fan-cooled convection, which means the heatsink isn't this, more so to say, of that part of the amplifier. It's actually, it's hard to see, actually probably not that hard to see with this off, but all these fins right here, cooling fins, it's there's like no radiation cooling in this amp at all, so better get sucked in. Well, back at her. Look, with the JL amp now flipped over again, we can see the very similar internal layouts, but this one has 1 inductor, this one has 2 inductors. You got 2 similar sized capacitors. Actually, the voltage specs are very, very similar. I could read them off, but who really cares that much? This one's got another capacitor, but really this amp is a 150 watt RMS amp, and this, I think, 150 watts bridged. I think this is a 340 bridged, but yeah, so we're back with 2 more amps on the table. These are the 2 4-channels. We got the Sony xplode 1000 watt amp and the JL Audio 4-channel. This bad boy is the E4300, and this is the xplode 1000 watt. It's not even 1000 watts. I hate amps like that. But this is 4 times 70 and this is 4 times 75. Just looking at the internals here, see how similar the ratings are, but this amp, its terminals just so horrible. Especially look at those piddly ass, oh excuse me, pointing at the wrong thing, piddly ass power terminals in comparison to this, still what I would call slightly overkill. Those are oversized for number 4 cable, proper block terminal, which is something I really like about this amp. But similar power structures, like power specs I should say, but we got like 6 mid-sized capacitors and 2 other mid-sized capacitors in comparison to what this amp has, which is 4 piddly ass capacitors and a whole bunch of other small ones that honestly, who cares? This one has small ones in black that you can't see as much too. But that's when you pay 3 to 4 times this the amount of this for this amp. But so here we're back with the last amp. This is the Kicker monoblock CX1200.1. This plate came off pretty easy. But this is the one amp on the shelf that is actually a dead amp that I just don't know what to do with. But it's also the smallest of all the amps I've shown off today. Well, that's because it's pure Class D circuitry. It's much smaller, gives off a lot less heat. But as you saw the power size of it, it by far has the largest capacitors of ranging different sizes. The more inductors, things like that. Smaller but larger MOSFETs. It's also pure convection, no fan, some fins in the sides. But yeah, this is a dead amp, so if anyone either wants it, aka like to physically have for scrap, I'm in Western Canada, message me if you're interested. But I also, if that doesn't work out in the next couple months, sometime over this summer, 2016, I will find something interesting to do with this amp, whether it be, one, blow all the capacitors up electrically and, I don't know, melt the thing down, make something cool out of it. I have access to do that. Just something ridiculous to do with this amp and put it on a wall or something like that, because it was my first real bass amp. Thanks for watching and enjoy the end of the video.